What up, y'all? It's your boy KevOnStage. Listen, I'm excited to do the 10-15 challenge. I don't even know what the 10-15 challenge is, and I'm still excited. I want to say thank you to What We Watch and the What We Watch community. We out here watching stuff, talking about it, sharing, caring, dialoguing. Keep it locked.
Welcome to the 10-15 challenge. It's your girl, Miss Peacherino, host and founder of What We Watch. Let's get into it.
Do you want to play a game?
What were your favorite movies growing up?
What, like of all time?
Do you watch that show?
Yeah, I do.
One of my favorite movies.
Is this what you're asking me?
We're here to talk about film and television, because what the fuck else would I be talking about?
It's soothing.
Welcome to the 10-15 challenge. It's your girl, Miss Peacherino of What We Watch, and we are here today with the premiere. We are here today with our wonderful guests, KevOnStage.
KevOnStage. This is the premiere?
This is the premiere.
Oh, shout out to Big Kev on the premiere. Big Kev. Stopping in my Air Force Ones.
Exactly that. Kevon. Welcome. We've intentionally designed this where how are you feeling right now? Because you really don't know what's going on, do you?
You know, I feel like you wouldn't do me crazy. I have been a big fan of yours and your content. We like a lot of the same stuff. I don't want to make it weird by agreeing with so many of your points, so I'd be quiet. So I listen, I like talking about TV and movies, so I feel like we're going to have a good time.
Look, if we agree this whole time, that's going to be great. That's going to be just fine. I agree. You agree. Yeah. I promise you, audience, we're not doing that on purpose. We just have a lot of the same interests. But speaking of interests, why are you here on What We Watch, Kevin? People know what you do, but give us a little bit more for somebody that might not know exactly where you've been and how amazing and talented you are. Yeah. Give us some of your recent work.
I'm a comedian, content creator. I can technically add showrunner to my title, which still feels very foreign to me because it wasn't necessarily like a dream, if I'm being just honest. Obviously, I wanted to make TV and movies and be a part of them, but I never necessarily, set out to be a showrunner. But Churchy on BT season 2 is coming this summer or fall. We haven't gotten an air date yet, but you can add showrunner and producer to my title as well. And I just like to make people laugh. I like to make people laugh. I like to tell stories. I believe I'm getting better at it. And I hope I get better at it until I die. I want to die as good as I could have gotten and creatively empty. That is my goal.
I love that. You've done a couple things. Yeah. Creatively empty is nice. Yeah, we get to do that. So you said that it wasn't necessarily your goal or passion. And that's something that, multi-hyphenates is the word that people like to use. But I just like to say we like to be creative in all aspects that we can, diversify our portfolios creatively, not just financially, And so what is your passion? Is it comedy specifically? Is it making people laugh? What really drives you?
I kind of derive different types of joy from each medium. But if I had to nail it down to one and I could do no other, it would be live performance. I think there's a connection between you and the audience. I started out in theater and stage plays. And one thing I learned doing Macbeth at my college, University of Washington, you can perform the show exactly the same energy, the same cues every night. And an audience is going to take a different response each time. Sometimes they laugh at something that's not funny. Sometimes they cry at a moment somebody else didn't cry. So I just love that connection. So if I could only do one, there's no feeling like making somebody laugh in person, double over in laughter. That's probably the high that I chase the most. When I'm making videos, I don't get to see how people respond to them. And sometimes that's good and bad. But when I got a whole room rocking, that's better than drugs for me.
Man, I love that you're saying that. We have a few pillars of What We Watch, one of them being everything is a romance, and we'll get into that later. But one of them is I like to tell people I'm not a movie critic necessarily. Yeah. It's about the experience that you have. And you know this, when you are experiencing an art, like you said, live or scripted, whatever it is, we don't really get to decide when people laugh and cry or how they
Right.
experience and feel. It's really just a reflection of how you are and who you are as a person.
Yeah.
So that's how people engage with our art, right? But I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought up Churchy, because I don't think people heard you. He said season 2, sweetie. So that
Yeah.
means season 1, that's already done. So we got greenlit for season 2. How was that?
You
How's
know,
that feeling?
it's so different this time. So season 1 I produced on my own, and my wife and I financed it, and then we just licensed it. So when they picked it up, we just had to basically put it through the finishing process to make it network
Oh, wow.
arable, right? Which I learned a lot. I ain't gonna hold you. I thought, oh yeah, we're gonna send you some Vimeo links, download the highest quality, y'all ingest it to your system, however you do.
We
It's
wish.
quite a bit more intense than that. It was not forwarding 8 Vimeo links over at all. So I learned a lot about, pretty much everything post house finishing at a network level. I had done it before, but I hadn't done it at a network level.
Exactly.
And then season 2, we did more in collaboration with the network. So this is my first time in a long time. My first time for something that I wrote or produced that I have to take network notes from, and they are at the top of the priority list.
Right.
Before season 1 of Churchy, I was the top. If I wanted a joke to make it or a scene to stay, it stayed.
You
But
make the
now
decision.
I
Yeah.
made the decisions, and I like that feeling.
Okay.
This
Okay.
season,
You like the lead. Okay.
I like to lead, but this season, I took my team's input, but at the end of the day, I had the final say. This time, the network has the final say, and I think I've learned a lot. First of all, if I can be completely honest, it was really good for me to have to submit to a creative exec, because that person who's our creative exec is amazing, and she's
Wonderful.
far more experienced in TV production than I am.
Exactly.
So she has no allegiance to anything but telling the best story, right? One of the negatives of being a creative that's made their own show, it's all good to you. It's all the best. It's all perfect. It's all
close to here.
funny. Yeah, it's all close. And one good experience, and I hope I'm not getting confusing, I saw a movie and the person did a talk back, and I remember feeling like this movie's a little too long. Like every scene's a little too long. And the person who wrote it was like, yeah, I wrote it, I directed it, and I edited it. And I was like, that's what it is. Nobody else was like, bro, we got it. you can trim a lot. So for me, I learned a lot about what will be better received by the audience by listening to somebody who does that for a living. So I think that was instrumental for me. And, a lot of my team was saying it too, but I can be very stubborn about what I believe in. I ain't gonna hold you. It's taken up.
As you should be. I
Yeah.
mean, we talk about that a lot at what we watch as well. I see what you're saying. Now we're going to be agreeing a lot.
Yeah.
It's bridging the art and the closeness of the artist to the industry.
Yeah, exactly.
Production, studio budgets, financials, and
Yes.
true to art, experience, uniqueness, telling the story. It's
all of that.
It's an intense balance, but I'm glad you've had an opportunity. Thank you for inviting me to the premiere.
Of course, I'm gonna invite you to
we
season
had a
2.
great time.
If we get one in LA, I'm gonna hit you up.
I mean, I'll travel too. So thank you so much. Thank you for the invite. Y'all heard it here first when we watched it. We had a good time. We got our little Getty image. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let's get into it. Because, you don't really know quite what we're about to do. But you were gracious enough to give us your favorite TV shows and films. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And while I'd love to take a journey, this is the 10-15 challenge.
Okay.
So I'd love to talk about everything we love for the rest of the time.
Oh, perfect.
Today. But you're going to have to pick your path, okay?
Okay.
So the 10-15 means you have 15 minutes to answer film questions, or you have 10 minutes to answer the TV, and you got to beat the buzzer, okay? So you tell me which one you want to do. 10 minutes of TV or 15 minutes of film?
Ooh, I think I have more of an affinity for films.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so close.
Let's do it.
Let's do film. I just want to talk longer, if I'm honest.
Okay. I mean, we have a set time. You don't have to go the full 15, but you got 15.
Okay.
Production team, I think we've chosen our path.
Okay.
All right. You ready to go? I am going to ask you a series of questions.
Okay.
They may or may not get more difficult as we go down the line. You may or may not get some points.
Okay.
It may or may not matter that you get points because we might have a tournament later of all of our best guests.
Oh! I love competition.
Okay, good. So, no pressure, but maybe a little pressure, So I'm not going to tell you the movies. Hopefully you remember. One of the things I hate when people ask me my favorite movies, even though I went and asked everyone, right? Is that's hard, right? Like
Yes.
in 2019, it's this, and in 2024, it's this. And if I'm in this mood, I might say this, and depending on who's asking me. But you still got your long-standing ones, and you gave us a good, strong list, especially when it comes to the directors, right?
Yeah.
Something that I noticed on all the films you sent, there's a couple, common themes: justice, identity, institutional failure. And
tell me more. Read me for Phil.
Yes, and hope and perseverance. There's something that your favorite movies and films are telling me about you. Does any of that resonate and reflect anything about who you are?
Wow. First of all, I'm taken aback that there was even a commonality outside of loving Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is really refreshing. I'm trying to think about I guess a lot of the characters are like up against the odds more than the usual like hero's journey type of thing.
Yeah.
And maybe I connect with that, like as a poor kid from El Paso who had these big dreams and they were not necessarily clear.
Right.
The odds have often felt insurmountable. And I think even now, based on what I want to do and what I'm currently doing and the difference between here and there, I could see how I still feel like insurmountable odds. I don't know about the institutional justice, so that's really interesting. But that's really interesting. But I can definitely see the like
hope and perseverance.
Hope and perseverance is like that's definitely a key. That's KevOnStage, because you really need that in this industry. Like this industry, more than any that I can think of, there's an unnatural amount of negativity and rejection in this industry.
Pitching, and it's so public too sometimes.
Man, you gotta take them L's in they make articles about the L's. If your movie fails, it's gonna be an article. Like
it's going to be an article. You $1 short. That's in the article.
Yes. When I worked regular jobs, if I didn't meet my sales goals at Bank of America, nobody knew but me. Like it's not public.
You and your boss, that was it.
Yeah. So I think you gotta have a healthy bit of delusions of grandeur to even survive in this industry, because it takes a lot of mental toughness to withstand that much negativity, I think. Right. So maybe that's why I find, solace in those movies.
Exactly that. All right. Okay. Let's start answering some questions. They may get harder, like I said, but we'll start off real simple because you know your stuff. These are your favorite movies you gave.
Yeah.
Who played Batman in Dark Knight?
Oh, Christian Bale.
Yeah,
of course.
Okay. You gave me a Steven Spielberg directed film. Okay, love that. Thank you. Name another popular Steven Spielberg directed film.
Oh, The Color Purple.
Okay.
Yeah, E.T.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, just one. My bad. Okay.
No, you got it. I would have said Jurassic Park too, because I love me a Jurassic Park. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Which two films were directed by the same director? We kind of said this a little earlier.
Christopher Nolan.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
And what were the two films?
Oh boy, I answered these questions a while ago. It's gonna be okay. I'm trying to remember what I told you.
Yeah.
It's probably The Dark Knight.
Correct.
And Inception or Memento. Okay. I vacillate between those two.
Point because he got it. I think he got it. So you like? Wait, you like Inception? You like Inception?
Oh, Inception just got out of my top 5.
Okay, so it was like 6.
Parasite replaced Inception. I was like, I don't know if I want to have 3 Christopher Nolan films in my top 5. But Parasite, I know how you feel about Parasite, but it was it was like I was almost in a catatonic state when that movie finished. I was like, I
made it there. Yeah.
It was like it was revolutionary in my mind. So
100%. I was in that theater with 200 people. I tell people this all the time, 200 people, and we was all like, none of us speak Korean, mind you. None of us speak the language.
It was so great.
Speaking of Parasite, Kev, what was the original housekeeper in Parasite allergic to?
Oh!
Come on.
Oh, that's such a detail.
But you know this.
Okay, I'm racking my brain. I can see that scene.
You know it.
And they went and got it.
Yep. And she's sprinkling it on there.
Oh, I can see it.
It's a fruit.
Oh!
It's okay.
I can't think of it.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's gone out of my mind. That is really specific.
Peaches.
I was gonna say pineapples. There's a P in there. Okay, peaches. Okay. Dang, that's good. Right. That's really good.
Right. That's all right. We
okay, cool. There. I love the hard ones. That's great.
Give me my buzzer.
Yeah.
Okay. What 2 films is Morgan Freeman in? Come on, you got this.
Okay, so Morgan Freeman is in The Dark Knight.
Correct.
And he's in Shawshank Redemption.
Check.
Yeah.
Harvey Dent.
Yes.
Is also known as what in Dark Knight?
Two-Face?
Exactly.
Oh, okay, great.
Good job.
Yeah.
We might be getting a little harder. We don't know.
Get a little harder.
Which of these 5 films had the lowest budget, but came to be one of the most profitable independent films ever made to this day?
It's got to be Memento, right? No.
It's
what was a lower budget? Shawshank.
Yes.
That was a low budget film.
Low budget. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how good it is. That's how good it is.
Dang, that's good. I didn't know that.
All right. You're gonna get into a little detail now. In Memento, what does Leonard use to help him remember information?
Polaroids.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
There's one more. Let's see if we get him a bonus on that. There's one more thing he uses.
Are they notes?
No.
Okay, so I know he wrote on the back. He wrote on the pictures.
Pictures for sure. Polaroids.
Okay.
And what else helped him identify people?
Ooh. I don't know. I haven't seen Memento in a minute. Tattoo.
Remember? Yeah, that's okay. That's a bonus. Okay.
Man.
What country was Parasite produced in?
Parasite was South Korea.
Correct.
Yeah.
Ding.
Yeah.
Okay. And in Shawshank Redemption, what hobby does Andy introduce his fellow inmates through the prison library? Okay. What's his main hobby?
Andy Dufresne. Okay, what is Andy doing?
Prison.
In prison that he introduces to people. It's not listening to records, is it?
Nope.
Okay, so he used the tool to get out of prison. Was that part of it? Was it figurines?
Nope.
I don't know, Mo. I'm out.
It's okay. It's a board game. Chess.
Now I'm mad. Yeah, I'm glad if you would have told me I would have watched all my movies before.
Nope. These your faves.
These are my faves.
You're good though. You're doing great. All right, they might get a little harder, but let's see. Who played Batman in Dark Knight Rises?
Dark Knight Rises? Christian Bale as well.
Okay, good. That's a trick question. Good job. Okay, don't let me pump you up. Which of these movies has the shortest runtime? Take your time.
Ooh, okay. Let's see. I know Saving Ryan is long.
A lot of these movies are long.
Christopher Nolan's not gonna be none of his movies.
Correct.
Long June. Parasite's a solid little runtime. I'm gonna guess Shawshank.
Close. Very close. That is the second. So Christopher Nolan actually did give you the shortest
one.
It
was Memento?
Yeah.
God dang it!
Were you gonna say that first?
I was gonna say Memento, but I was like, Christopher Nolan don't know how to make no short movie.
Don't let Oppenheimer throw you off.
But Memento, okay. Dang.
Shawshank was the next in line, though. Good job.
Man.
In Memento, what does Leonard suffer from?
Leonard suffers from...
You got the Polaroid stuff, right?
Short-term memory loss.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Amnesia. We're going to give him that one. Good
yeah.
job. Yep. Okay. Bong Joon-ho, our guy.
Yes.
Name a film on Netflix directed by our guy. It's on Netflix.
Snowpiercer.
Good job. Yes.
Yeah, love that movie as well.
Yes. Okay. Now we know Ball here. Okay.
Yeah.
Name one of the main actors in that film.
Oh, that's a Chris.
Yes. Which Chris is it? Which Chris is it?
Chris. Is it Captain America? Is it Chris Pine?
Captain America's right, but I'm gonna give you one more chance. What's his last name?
Chris Evans. Chris Evans.
There you go. We're gonna give him that one.
I knew it was a Chris, but Pine. Oh, Pine is Star Trek. Pine is Star Trek. Evans is Captain America.
Chris Pine is in what is that one called? He's in Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's Chris Pine too, right? Is that Chris Pine or no?
No, that's Chris Pratt.
Nobody's still getting it wrong.
That's Chris
Okay,
Pratt.
too many Chris's, but you said that right.
Yeah.
Okay, in Saving Private Ryan, the best intro to a war movie.
Oh man.
What famous historical event is depicted in the beginning?
That is the storm of Normandy Beach. D-Day.
D-Day. Correct.
Yeah.
Good job. Yes.
Yeah, 30 minutes of heat, gore,
Yep, 30 minutes of
accidental death and dismemberment.
Exactly. Okay, which film got the most Oscars?
Ooh. Okay, I know it ain't the Batman. It ain't. I'm gonna. Man, it's gotta be Saving Private Ryan or Shawshank. I'm gonna say Saving Private Ryan.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Wait,
yes.
hold on. Is that correct?
Please be correct.
We gotta come back to
it.
But I believe too. I think it got the most.
Asterisk.
Which actor has a posthumous Oscar winning and which role in which film?
Ooh, posthumous.
Oscar win. Mm-hmm.
And it's one of these movies?
It's in one of these movies.
Okay, so
it's in one of them. Maybe. I mean, it's one of your bigger ones. This was a big deal when it happened.
So it must not have been performance based. Ooh. The only person that I can think off the top of my head that died is Tom Sizemore.
Nope.
It ain't Tom? I don't know then. That's
Heath Ledger. Do you remember that?
Oh my God! How did I forget? I forgot.
It's okay. It's okay. The challenge gets you. We're gonna stay in the Oscars.
Wow. How did I miss that? That's gonna haunt me for the rest of the day.
Okay, we're gonna stay in the Oscars. This is gonna be a little difficult, but how many Oscars does our guy Tom Hanks have?
Okay.
How many do you think?
Okay, he's got. I think he got one for Forrest Gump, if I'm not mistaken. He got one for one of those early movies. I'm gonna say 2.
Ooh, ding!
Is that right?
Yes, good job. So many nominations and only 2, and that's our guy. Look, I love me a Tom Hanks.
Love Tom.
I love me a Tom. Okay.
Yes.
And he's gonna have his wife on the production too.
Yes, she gonna be up in there in that pre-pro for sure.
Okay. How many Oscar nominations did The Shawshank Redemption receive?
Ooh, that was a lot. I'm gonna say. You had Steve, you had Morgan, you had Andy, you had Prowley's. I'm gonna say 9. I'm completely guessing though.
That's very, very close. It was 7.
Okay. The buzzer is loud, Mario. The buzzer's so much louder than the ding.
Let's see. This is a bonus on that one. So stay there because you were close. You were. It's not like you said 13 or 2. Okay.
Yeah.
How many did it win?
I just want you to know I'm going to spend the rest of my day looking up all these movies and every fact about them now.
No one's ever going to ask you these questions again.
I know the information is only useful for this moment in time.
But you have to know. We have to know. It's always so much fun.
I'm going to say 4.
Are you sure about that?
No, I'm not sure at all.
You know that The Shawshank Redemption won Oscars?
You know what? My first thought was, I don't remember winning any Oscars, but maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it won 4. Did it really not win any?
None.
None?
They didn't give my guys nothing.
Nothing?
I mean, we'll give you half a point for that one, Mark.
Wow.
Half a point for that one. He said
I gotta go with my first mind more often.
Yeah, you do. It's about the game. And we got a couple buzzer beaters, maybe, or one, depending, because we're getting close to the time. Which two movies feature pivotal basement scenes? We're talking about a
basement scenes?
Yes.
Okay, Parasite for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure a basement scene.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think of, is The Dark Knight, is that considered a basement? Okay, Memento.
These scenes transform their narratives completely. Okay. Like, you think you know it's going one way and the basement takes you somewhere else. You kinda just got there. Where's the basement?
I can only think of The Dark Knight and Parasite. I can't think of another basement scene.
In Memento.
Why Memento?
Memento's been getting you, and you love Memento.
Memento I've loved since college, but I don't rewatch it. It's the one I rewatch the least.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I love it, but I don't watch it, and I don't really see it streaming and stuff,
That's also true.
Yeah.
They will put Inception out there.
Yeah, the other ones are much easier to access than Memento.
Right. That's fair.
I need to rewatch Memento.
Thank you so much for answering the questions. Great job.
This was great. This was fun.
You definitely beat the book. I'm pretty sure with that.
Man, Tony Baker would have a blast on this. Oh my God.
Okay. Tell them to come on.
I'm gonna let him know. He probably would be wanting to do an hour of this, because this is like he lived for this. This is so fun.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you had so much fun. This is what I do. Again, I love film and television. So we're gonna rack up your points, Kevin, because you did pretty good. You did pretty good. And we'll let you know. We'll have a leaderboard, and if you make it, you're going to be in the tournament head to head with other guests.
I love this.
Okay. Great. I'm so glad you did.
I love this.
Why is film and TV so important, right? I am what we watch, and I emphasize the we. It's the communal experience. It's the collaborative way that we're all on set together. I think I tweeted one day, I was like, y'all don't know what goes into a 2-minute ad, okay?
Man.
No idea. Tell us a little bit about why film and TV as a showrunner, producer, honey. You've been on all sides of the camera.
It's probably the most collaborative art form that I can even think of. There's this old saying that I really agree with, especially being blessed to be on all parts of it. There's 3 movies you make. It's the one you write, it's the one you shoot, and the one you edit. And what you write, it's your hopes, your dreams, and all that. You want to make that. And then based on your budget, and regardless of what your budget is, even if you have $200 million, some producer's going to be like, we can't do the helicopter. We got to CGI this, whatever it is. It's like somebody's going to be like, we can't do it all. So
if you're Tom Cruise, you're going to shoot the helicopter scene.
Right. Right. And I think part of the thing I enjoy is creatively is like having to figure out, okay, what can you do? And I think, one thing I've always found interesting, no matter how bad things are in America, people always went to the movies. Like during recessions, during depressions, if they only have a quarter, they'll forego a meal because there's only so much pain people can take. They'll forego a meal and go see a movie. And I think about, even as an artist myself, like during the pandemic, people often like thank me for saving them during the pandemic, like just by giving them something to watch, right? Like we can't necessarily change someone's circumstances, but we can help them forget about them for a couple of hours.
Yep.
And as
we can create a universe for them.
Yeah.
They can immerse themselves. Thank you.
Yeah. And I just I love both parts. And I again, I'm blessed to be able to make things like this, but also just to like enjoy someone else's vision. Like Sinners is the most recent thing that just blew me away. Like it was just like, man, all this was in your mind. What an amazing
years, mind you.
For years you had this in your mind. And by the time you shared it to me, it's perfect. It starts all these discussions and all that. But like I cried. A tear escaped my eye during that one scene. I was like, this is what movies are made for. Like, not only is it beautiful to watch, he's saying something, he's talking to me. as a Black American, he's talking to Black people all across the diaspora, and we're so interconnected. And to see that, especially, I got to see it in IMAX. I was like, and my whole family, we're just like, I took my kids. They were like, we all felt emotions. I didn't want them to see that one scene, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have to be men someday.
Risk,
You know what I'm saying? You got to be
yeah.
real
Risk
eaters
reward.
only. You feel me? But it was transcendent. And I love what you said recently. You said you don't grade movies by numbers. Like
What is the difference between a 91 and an 88 or 91
like
and 93?
I
What does
love
mean?
that. It's like grading a painting. Like you enjoy the art. You just enjoy it or you don't enjoy it.
Yourself in it or not?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily just binary, but it is like,
yeah.
Do you love it? What did you love? You know,
yes.
Did you hate it? Why did you hate it? What did you hate? Or whatever. It's like,
yeah. So I love that. And like, even with music,
actually.
and like Boom Jones-Ho's, his last movie I did not love, Mickey 17.
Mickey 17. Man,
love.
I'm fiercely protective of my guy, but you kind of put yourself in a bad spot when you follow up with your own best. Ever.
Right, but here's what I love about it. I'm okay with you making something I don't like as long as you like it. I'd rather you make something that you believe in. I don't have to love it. Like I love for my favorite artists to have a miss because at least you're making what you believe in. And that to me is more important than you trying to make what you think I will like.
Exactly.
Like you make Parasite and I'm going to give you more chance because I love Christopher Nolan, but Dunkirk ain't my fave. But I feel you though, and I'm glad you made it.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying?
Y'all slept on Tenet. That's my movie.
You like Tenet?
No, I love Tenet. I'm probably the only human being that watched the making of Tenet twice just to learn about IMAX cameras. Okay.
You are doing what you should be doing with your life.
Thank you for affirming me in that. No, I wanted to like bridge some of the things because I was going to bring up Ryan Coogler because who isn't bringing up Ryan Coogler at this time? He said that in the Kodak. The Kodak. I feel like that's going to go down as the Kodak video. Kodak. Ryan Coogler.
The greatest marketing material. I've never seen a movie marketed with somebody just talking about the technical aspect of a camera.
The director
and
just
film.
In his bag, right?
I had already bought the ticket, but I bought 2 more because of that video.
Exactly.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to
a couple of other people. No, yeah. And he says that. He says, kind of what you said earlier. So thank you so much because it is the foundation of what we watch. It's we go together to watch the movies. He was like, I didn't grow up, where we're going to St. Barts or the Maldives or the Panama, like my country, for family vacations. We went to the movies.
Yes.
You're lucky you get to experience this beautiful storytelling on a huge screen with your family, with your friends.
Yeah.
That is the vacation. That is the fun time. Mm-hmm. And so I love that he said that because during the pandemic, that's what helped me, escape from kind of the darkness that was around me. And I was like, I'm not alone or like lonely internally. I'm not sad internally, but everything's happening is just weighing on me. And I found solace and I found community in film and television. So it makes so much sense. And I'm glad we do the vacations, but we go to the movies too.
Yes. And there's few things better than going online or with your friends to talk about a movie you just saw.
Come on.
And like, what's your favorite part? Oh, I love this part. Like, that hasn't changed since I was a little kid. We do that with my wife and kids when we come out of the movies. Like, what part you like? What part you like? What part you hate? Like,
exactly.
That's the best part of it to me.
That's the marketing. Talk about what you like. That's what we watch is here. Please clip that for the premiere promo and pitch for all pitches to what we watch. Thank you so much. That's wicked. No, but you get it. You get it without even realizing it. But you do realize it because we always agree on everything.
Right.
But yeah, we're gonna rack up your points.
Okay.
All right. And thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me. And thank you for rescheduling. I appreciate it.
You are all over the internet, all over our screens as well. And we expect to continue to see you. But just in case, we have a lovely person that joined what we watch and doesn't know where to find you. Where can they find you?
They can find me, KevOnStage, on every platform except TikTok. It's KevOnStage TikTok. So yes, just find me. I make funny videos on the daily to help me achieve my ultimate goal. So so you'll find something, a funny attempt pretty much every single day on one of those platforms.
I love that. Thank you so much for doing what we watch. That's KevOnStage, y'all. That is the 10-15 challenge. We'll be back for more.